I hope I'm audible to all. Okay. So let's get quickly started. So first of all, thank you all for attending the session at Dynamic 365 Urdu Hindi Bootcamp 2021. I think before I start in a detailed discussions on this path of low code and no code for electronic reporting, and this is one of the key feature in the Dynamic 365 Finance and Operation app. First of all, I would like to thank you very much. I would like to thanks all the participants, speakers, and the organization, and special thanks to Faisal. It is really a great, honor to have the chance to have such kind of and spend some time with the community and try to learn and share our knowledge. Uh, when I was preparing a talk for today's discussion, it took me way back when I was to part of developer community back in 2001 and 2005, where I started focusing more on Dynamics 365. Earlier, it was Dynamics AX. I distinctly remember when I used to work with a customer and try to help them to understand from an implementation perspective, and more focus was on a technical area, and one of the key area was reporting aspect. And I still remember during those days we used to spend a lot of time to understand the business requirement, try to fulfill those requirements into the out of the box capability of the reports or capability, or for the matter business processes. uh, However, there was one particular aspect where customer wish list was always how can we expedite the path of the development. Okay, and they often saying that okay, if there are a bunch of reports, if I would like to create a report, for example, they do have a citizen developer sitting over there, or I'm a business user, how can I do that, right? So I think that is where the notion of a low code and low code platform comes into picture. So without much further delay, I will like to start with the introductions. So who am I? So my name is Rakesh. I have been part of this product more than 20 years now. I started with Dynamics AX 3.0. I've been part of almost all the community across the globe. And recently, I started a dedicated channel, especially for Mumbai in India, mainly focus on Dynamics 365 and Power Platform community. I'm a group leader for that. Currently, I've been associated with TCS, that is Tata Consulting Services in Mumbai. As part of my role, I lead the Center of Excellence unit, and where I try to more focus on innovation. At the same time, I'm also focusing more on the solution and architecting work, especially in the finance and operation act. I lived and worked in UK, US, Europe, and many part of the world, and mainly in the Middle East, especially in Qatar. In terms of my certification, I certified in Finance and Operation app as a solution architect, as well as certified a solution architect in Azure. Okay. If you need any queries, or if you have any queries, or if you want more understanding on the platform of Finance and Operation app, you can always reach out to me. Here are the details of my email address, my LinkedIn handle, and my Twitter handle. Okay. Now I'll move on to next slide, where I'll just try to walk you through the agenda today. Um, but before I move on to agenda, I would like to highlight in this 45 minutes, the more focus will be given to the hands-on, and I'll start with a bit of a perspective in terms of what is this electronic reporting and the theory and the notion of low code and no code. Okay. So in terms of agenda today, we will start with the electronic reporting introduction. What is electronic reporting? How can we use that electronic reporting? Then we will also try to touch base. What are the other capabilities that are available in the product as part of out of the box capability of finance and operation app? And if at all, if someone wants to, as part of consultancy, if someone wants to map those uh, with the customer scenario, or their customer scenario, or maybe client scenario, for that matter, user story, I'm just trying to touch base maybe in a 2 3 minutes over there. Then I'll move on and more focus on the use cases and also the architecture overview. What are the key components in the business in the business document or the electronic reporting? And I'll just try to walk you through the list of business use cases as well. So that will also help you or simplify if when there is a the feed gap analysis is to be required. And towards the end, maybe half of the portion probably will try to more focus on two use cases, two business use cases, and we will start with creating the existing report, or how can we extend the existing report from an Excel template to the Word template without writing a single line of code. And we will also try to focus on a second use case, which is the building a report, which is a transaction-based report from the scratch. Okay. So what is electronic reporting? Okay, electronic reporting or a generic electronic reporting. So in my view, electronic reporting is nothing but a configurable tool or an engine that allows business users or citizen developers, for that matter, to create, configure, or define their business rules for their incoming and outgoing documents. When it comes to core capability of this electronic reporting, there are four key pillars in my sense that everyone should able to thoroughly understand and before they go and start applying that use cases for the electronic reporting as a tool. The very first is a configurable format. So what it means, it does allow you to create or configure your report format, whatever the whether it's incoming form documents or outgoing document. You can simply go and configure it based on your requirement or a customer requirement. Another aspect when it comes to configurable format, often business user asks these questions: do I need to maintain the repository of this configurable format somewhere outside the scope of finance and operation app? Right. So in that sense, electronic reporting does allow to store all this configuration in the database of Dynamics 365 Finance and Operation app. We will see in detail as we go further in a subsequent slide. Then the second one is the custom logic and extensibility. Though the product is more mature day by day, but still there is a need for some additional fields to be appeared. Could be because of some sort of localized requirement or regular requirement. So there is need for, or there is requirement of ability to extend it further. So electronic reports does allow you to extend the existing report. Those are shipped out of the box, or you can also add on top of that your additional capability. So it's very simple to extend further. We will see in few minutes in hands-on. The third aspect is the business logic and rule. So often we have seen in the implementation process where certain key fields to be changed, maybe a value to be changed, or some fields to be hide at a runtime. And I distinctly remember in a previous version, or for that matter, in this version as well, if someone wants to go for SSRS report, you need to go with a lot of permutation and a lot of business logic to be written either at a X++ end or maybe at a SSRS end. So electronic reporting does allow you that flexibility where you can go and define and where you can go and define your business logic and transform that data in a simpler manner. And as it is targeting towards the audience of citizen developer and business users, but obvious they will not be well versed in the X++ language, right? So that is where there's a concept of formula designer, which does allow you to define your own formulas very similar to Excel. Okay. And the fourth one is a support for localization requirements. So there is a bunch of reports that has been shipped out of the box by the product itself for a specific country. However, there is always a need to define or build on top of that, or maybe from a scratch, the additional localized report, right? So that report format could be any specific text as output, or maybe XML as output, because of that is how the localized system is allows to process that, right? So if I just try to go back in days of previous version, or maybe the concept of SSRS, a developer used to write a bunch of logic by using ASCII IO classes or text IO classes, and define the schema into a, whether it's a container or whether it's released in the form of X++, and they used to write that business logic on top of that. They need to iterate the the whole query itself to extract the data into CSV or for that matter text, right? But with the help of electronic reporting, without writing any single line of code, you can go and define your own template or own format, and you can also define rules on top of that. Now I'll move on to next slide, where I'll just try to touch base the out-of-the-box reporting capability. However, in the interest of time and in the interest of today's topic, I'll be speaking more on the electronic reporting. But if you need more information on this, I just try to highlight that there are a bunch of product capabilities available as part of reporting options. So I'll just quickly walk you through when there is a need for the interactive documents, but obviously there is SSRS reporting component is available, right? Where a bunch of development efforts are required when there is a need or design to be published in the SSRS designer, and that must be published, right? And then when there is need of financial reporter, then management reporter concept comes into picture, and there is a management reporter, very good and nice tool where business user can go and do that. In addition to this, there is a bunch of additional capability, for example, Excel add-in, for that matter, workspaces or Power BI. I'm not going to spend much time on this as the topic is more focused on electronic reporting, but I thought let me share that learning as well, that what are the options that are available in the product. Then we'll move on to next slide, where I'll just try to depict the view of based on my understanding of earlier experience and the knowledge of the product implementation, that these are the typical use cases, right, from the business, where business is trying to focus that they need a lot of reports. If there is a financial firm, definitely they would need reports to be generate as and when the auditor comes in, and auditor requires some sort of information to be extracted further. Though there are bunch of options are available where you can export the data, however there's a certain logic to be defined. So that is where one of the business use case where the electronic reporting concept can be leveraged to generate the rapid generation of reports. Okay. At the same time, if you just try to read this slide from your left to right, uh, there is always a need where payment file to be exported or some sort of bank information to be imported or exported for that matter from the finance and operation app. Then we can use electronic reporting again without writing a single line of code. Then there is a need for ad hoc reporting as well. In one of the implementation, I have seen that customer would need some sort of concept where their business users can go and create a report on top of that, or maybe from a scratch. There is a one more critical use case that I have seen where the financial services, or for that matter any sort of industries in the retail, where they need a specific template output, or the output to be generated on a specific template. They do have a predefined templates, typically in the Word or Excel, and that is where the power of electronic reporting comes into picture, where you can define your own template in the form of Excel or in the form of Word, and then you can define your business logic and just drag and drop and define this, activities that you want to perform, and then the report is up and running. Okay. At the same time, there is also one of the critical use case, that is a regulatory requirements, where the data to be electronically exchanged with the government bodies. And that is where electronic reporting, where business users can go and create those reports, and they can export the data which is required for that, the regulatory requirements. Now I'll move on to next slide, because that is what I mentioned, right? I'll just try to walk you through a high level view on the concept and more focus on the practicals or hands-on experience, right? So this is the last slide, and then we'll move on to the live demo. So if you look at the high level architecture of electronic reporting, or for that matter business documents, it has three core components. Okay. It starts with model. So model is nothing but some sort of container where you can define your report data fields. So you need X number of data fields to be appeared on the model. It could be a data fields to be part of your, report format as part of your layout, or it could be part of your report dialog. Okay, where user can select a date, or for that matter, any sort of lookup value, and based on the data to be filtered without writing any single line of code, right? So that is where the first concept of the model comes into picture. There is another component in this electronic reporting, which is nothing but a model mapping. Okay, by name itself is indicating it's a model mapping, right? So whatever the component that has been defined, which is a data fields, that data fields will be automatically connected again through a number of clicks. And then on top of the data field, you can define your own expression. And that is where the concept of calculated fields comes into picture, where you can define your expression, where you can define your rules as part of very similar to Excel type of, the expressions. There is a third component in this electronic reporting engine, which is the format designer. So what it does, it tries to connect all the model mapping, and model mapping has the correlation with the model, rather the data fields that have been part of the model, and it also allows you to define your own template, right? So it does allow you to binding of those data fields that has been initiated from this place to this place, and then it does correlate with each other. So there is a process defined so that business user can also go and define and select their own template, select the respective data fields and bind those data fields with the respective templates. Or if they want to do some sort of, the expression where my condition fulfills, then so and so field should not be visible, or so and so field should be visible, right? So on top of that as well, we can define the expression. However, if you look at all these three components, right from model mapping, and format designer, everything is going to be stored. It is part of your finance and operation apps database. So no need for business users or citizen developer to take a export and maintain it separately or somewhere in the local device. Is not required. It is everything is part of your database. It does also provide multiple versions. We will see in a minute how it maintains a version. So as and when you change anything across all these three components, that is model mapping, and format designer, it does allow you to complete the steps, and it does allow you to maintain the versions automatically. So for some reason, if you want to rebase your format designer or your earlier model mapping with the current or the previous committed versions, you can go and do that with the help of rebase of versions. Okay. So this is what a little bit about the theory and some sort of knowledge on the electronic reporting, and then we'll move on to our next section, which is a live demo, and there I am going to walk you through two business use case. A very first business use case the is the Excel template that is currently been part of product, and that has been there are a couple of reports, electronic report that has already been part of the report, but one of it is invoice, and that is a free text invoice. So we are going to see that how that Excel template is going to be transformed into a predefined Word template. So think about a scenario where organizations are having their own Word templates, and they want to encapsulate that data in such a way, for example, the customer address, customer details, or the repetitive actions of number of lines, uh, which is part of that invoice, right? So we will see how easily we can transform that Excel template of free text invoice to the Word. Another use case where I'm trying to create a report from scratch, and it will be more on the transaction based report, and there we will see customer balance due, right? So think about a scenario where a customer is expecting a report where their expectation is that a report should be predefined value to be entered by the user, for example date, as on date, and based on that as on date, system should able to list down all the customers and their balance due as on today, right? So if you look at in the X++ word, from a developer perspective, the developer needs to create a lot of artifacts from a SSRS report perspective, for that matter service class, controller class, or for that matter DP class or UI builder class, right? But we will try to see maybe close to 10-15 minutes. Within 10-15 minutes, you can create a report from scratch. Now I'll quickly move on to my demo screen now. So I log on to application. I have purposefully opened two instances so that it will be easy for you to understand when I'm trying to navigating to individual screen. So now the very first is a free text invoice. So what I have done, I have already set up the free text invoice out of the box electronic reports, and that you can find in the organization and admin in the workspace called electronic reporting. In the electronic reporting, there is a tile called reporting configuration. Once you click on that, you can download all the reports directly from the from the LCS. But again, for the purpose of today's demo, I have focused more on the free text invoice. So as you can see here, this is the invoice model for free text invoice. This is the format or a design where the Excel template has been used, and third is the model mapping, which is a, if you just go back and previous and try to correlate with the previous slide, you can see the three components. This is invoice model, invoice mapping, and the designer. Okay. So I'll just quickly, before I make any changes, I'll just quickly walk you through the standard report, how it look like in the form of Excel. I'm not going to post any invoice. I'm just going to focus more on the pro forma invoices sort of scenario. So as soon as click on this, it will allow you to select, the list of options, whether you want an email to be sent or you want that the particular invoice to be archived, or maybe you want that to be part of, file or screen. So I'll just select the file or screen and then I'll click on OK. As soon as click on OK, probably you would see here, system will start processing the invoice, and that invoice information will be appeared in the PDF format, or which is completely defined on Excel, right? So how I'm going to do that? If I want to change the word template, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to just quickly navigate to the, again, the organization admin module, electronic reporting, reporting configuration. I'm going to select the model. Okay, because I want to change the model, right? Because I want to change the design. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to select the capability, which is our option, derived from invoice model. So I'll just select FT, free text invoice, invoice model, one. So what it does, it creates the derived configuration, and the base configuration will be always and always the standard which has been part of the product. Then I'm going to create the derived model mapping. And here I'm going to select my target model, which I have already created, ft underscore invoice underscore model underscore one. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 minutes because the standard model has a lot of model mapping inside to address the sales invoice scenario, project invoice scenario. Okay. So it is done. And the third step is to this Excel template. So what I can do, you can just again select this Excel template. So if I just go and select, so FT underscore word underscore file. Here I'm going to select my data model, this model one. I haven't committed yet, right? So it means what? Before I do any changes, my model should be connected to that particular, definition. So I'm going to create a configuration over here. So I have performed three steps. I have duplicated using the derived model capability, that is model, designer, as well as the mapping. Now I'm going to complete the status because I want to execute that. So I'll go here, I'll change the status to complete. Then I'm also going to change the status of model mapping as well. As I mentioned earlier, it has a lot of model mapping. For example, project invoice and vendor invoices and package slip as well. So sometimes it takes time to confirm the changes. Okay, there you go. So now third step. In the third step, whatever the design that we have duplicated from the standard one, that is the Excel one, right? So if I just quickly go into the design, you will see in the designer window the bunch of Excel cells defined. If you go to the attachment, you will see the standard attachment that has been shipped with the product. You just quickly, you can see this is the Excel templates. But in our case, our use case that we don't want to use this standard template, right? We want to use a Word template. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to type the standard word. I'm just going to take the standard template like this template. I'm going to generate this template. Okay, so this is standard template. Okay, I do not want this table, so I'll just delete this table. I will delete this as well. It's not required. And I'm going to add a new table over here as per my.
हेलो
Hello.
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम जी हेलो आवाज आ रही है आपको जी आपकी आपको आ रही मेरी आवाज आपकी आवाज मुझे नहीं आ रही है एक मिनट
Okay. So,
आप चेक करें आपको काम करता हूँ तो बंद कर देता हूँ
okay. So
हेलो
what I was trying to highlight, as you can
है
see
हेलो
here in my.
हेलो कॉम माइक सेटिंग ऑडियो ऑडियो में जाके माइक्रोफोन बोलिए जरा अब आप
Okay. So as you can see here in my Word template, I do have additional developer tag that I have added from here because that is where we need to use the XML mapping over here. Okay. So I have added a table. Okay. And what I'm going to do, as you can see here in the XML mapping tab, as I have not attached this template to the to the ER designer for that FreeText invoice, you are just seeing the standard schemas over here, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share this. I'm going to first save this on my document, which is ft underscore invoice underscore one. Okay, and then I'm going to close this, and I'm going to delete this existing Excel one.
हेलो
This will give me ability to select the one that I have created. I'm going to save this. I'll close this. As soon as I save this, it is allowing me to attach a template for the designer that we have created or that we have copied from the derived model. I'm going to save this. As soon as I save this, whatever the XML tags or the Excel cells that you are able to see here, right, will be automatically part of that Excel, automatically part of that Word document. So I'm going to again go back to the attachment that I have already attached. I'm going to open this Word document over here, and As you can see here in the developer tab, if I just go to the XML tab, you'll find the additional XML part that has been added, which is reports. Okay, and you can see all the XML, headings and the details. If I just try to compare over here in the context of our discussion, you can see here. Okay, so it means what? Now the Word document is having all the XML mapping, right? So what is next? So next is start map the required fields that we want to be appeared on this particular Word template. So what I'll do, I'll just quickly select this one, which is my invoice number. I'm going to select the invoice number from the document detail one. This is the invoice number. Right click and map to selected content control. Then I'm going to select invoice date as well, which is my document date value. I'm going to also select my company name. I already using USMF, so company information, company name over here. Then the company address, which is the company's address value. Then ship to, so the uh, customer name. Again, map to select field and the address of customer. Okay, so now we are done with the header sections, which is the single value to be appeared on all the invoice header. Next one is the repeated control, right? So this is what a table that we added. So we just quickly go back and see the invoice line sections over here, which we want to be automatically repeated, as part of this Word template. So we want to map four fields, right? Descriptions, quantity, unit price, and amount. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to select this as a table, and I'm going to select this. I'm going to insert a control for repeating because I want all the invoice lines to be automatically repeated here. So I'm done with this. Then I'm going to select the first control using a rich text box. And then I'm going to apply the mapping over here. And these two steps I need to repeat for the remaining three columns as well. So I'll just quickly do it. The quantity one, mapping of quantity, then the unit price, mapping of unit price, then the amount, and then the mapping of invoice. That's it. Okay, that's it. You can save that particular, the Word templates, ft underscore invoice underscore one bracket one. Uh, then I'm going to close this, and I'm also going to close this particular thing. Now, next step, again, you need to go back here in attachment, delete the first one, and upload the new one that you have created, right? So I'm going to upload this so that my FTI electronic report, that is free text invoice report, can start using this new template that I have just modified and also done the mapping for each and every required field. I'm going to attach here. I'm going to save this. So now I'm done with the format designer activity, and I'm going to change the status to maintain the versions. It is very important to keep a note that each and every activity, whether it's a model changes, whether it's a model mapping changes, or any sort of designer changes, all the activity to be changed to be, click here as a complete. Otherwise, your report won't work. Okay, so I'll just quickly double check. This is completed. The model that we created, that is also completed, and the model mapping that we have created, right? This one, this is also completed. Now, next step is to attach this template to the specific area so that our free text invoice can start looking into it. So for that, you can navigate to accounts and receivable module, forms. Underneath the forms, we have a form set. Underneath the form, in the general section, we have print management. Select the free text invoice, and here you can see all the report formats, right? The current report format that we have created, FT Word. I'm going to select this, just double check, yes, it is saved. And then I'm going to go back and check the freight text invoice. I'm going to select this freight text invoice just to check the pro forma of this. Okay, as you can see here, the Word document is currently being downloaded, and you can see all the value that we map: invoice date, invoice. This is a pro forma invoice. That is where the value is like this. Otherwise, you would have see a correct number sequence based value. Then the customer Contoso Retail San Diego, and then the address. You can also see a repeated of invoice line. And let me just close this and open the invoice. You can see all the invoice lines that were there at particular that invoice which we process. Now, what if a customer is expecting that this particular report, instead of downloading, uh, they need an additional capability where that report to be automatically sent to their customer, based on the customer contact email address. So how can we do that? So in the electronic reporting, again, I'll go back to organization admin module. In the section of electronic reporting, you can see a couple of options. Again, in the interest of our today's topic, I'm going to select the electronic reporting destination, where you can see a place where define a destination. Okay, I'll just quickly select my report, electronic reporting reference. In our case, it's FT_1_1. I'm going to select a file destination over here, any name based on your maybe one. I'm going to select the file component here, which is my free text invoice. And then I'm going to select the convert to PDF. Just a small note here, this capability gets enabled based on the feature management. So there is a feature management capability available, and then only this additional PDF conversion comes into picture. So you need to look out for feature management workspace, and in that workspace there are a bunch of additional features are there, and one of the features convert to PDF for electronic reporting. Okay, then if you go to the settings over here, you would see a bunch of options that we have seen in the initial stage of the discussion, right? So if I want to just send an email over here, I can select enable. In the two, either I can go for a specific configuration of email, or I can just specifically go for printing of email. I can go for either a customer or prospect, whatever, as I mentioned. But this time I just wanted to specify the value of my email address so that we can quickly check and see the readers. Right? So when you do that, I also want, while sending email, I want to be appear on the screen as well. Now I'm going to save this. I'll close the screens and I'll go back to accounts receivable and free text invoices again. And this time, when I select the invoice to be previewed, automatically system has started giving additional dialog where as a user I'm getting ability to select or archive or screen on a page. I'm going to select as it is, that is email and screen. If I just quickly do that, so while it is processing, you can also define your own template as well. So this is a PDF created, and I'll go back to my email, as you can see here. So the email is also received, right? A similar one, correct? So this is how we have ended up with our first use case. I can see we are already on top of the hour.
Rakesh, we are having very less time. How much time you need more?
Maybe I'll just quickly touch base with the second use case with the scenario that I have already created.
Okay, sure. Because
Okay.
our next speaker is line up. Thank you.
Okay. So second scenario, as I mentioned, right, that there is a requirement from a business where they wanted to have a customer balance report to be appeared. So I have created a customer balance model over here. I'll just quickly walk you through. I'm so sorry, in the interest of time, we will not be able to go in a detail hands-on. I would love to do that, but again, maybe next time we will try to see that. So I have created a one model over here. I'll just quickly walk you through the designer. In the model, I have created the model mapping as a container. Inside that, I have created the record sheet, record list type. You can see here a bunch of data types are available. One of the data type is record list over here. I have selected that. Underneath of that, I have created balance as a variable and attached to a real, because I want balance value to be appeared as part of that customer report, and the string value as well as the due date. And this due date is required because we want that dialog to be appeared whenever the report is trying to run the reports from the interface perspective or from a UI perspective. I have also created designer over here the way we have created in our previous use case, which is having the attachment, a very simple attachment, as you can see here. Now I can go back and I can quickly walk you through. If I want to run this report, I'll just quickly select my designer, click on run, and then select the whatever date. I'll enter today's date, and I'll enter maybe a criteria for the customer group 10 or 20. I'll just quickly okay on this. So what it does, whatever the logic that has been added, it automatically releases on all the customer records and their balances, and at the same time it will also send that same information through email. But what if customer is expecting that my business users they will not be able to the electronic reporting access, right? So how can we add the menu item over here in the menu pan itself only, right? So I have already added the menu item. I'll just quickly walk you through. This is a custom menu item that is added, and for that you need some sort of low code approach here. You need to create a contract class, controller class, and DP class. You need to bind those values at particular DP class and service class, as you can see here. And this is pretty much standard one. Nothing has been changed apart from the value of or text that has been used for. But as soon as I add it, you can also see I have also added an extension for account receivable menu and the dedicated menu item. If I just go back to the property of this, you can see the controller class that has been already associated with that menu item. And if I want to just quickly run through this, from the menu pan itself only, you'll get the ability to select your format configuration. In my case, this model invoice, I can go and select it. I can, whether if I want to put it in a batch, I can do that, and I can simply execute this, right? And then I can put a filter. As soon as I click on filter, it will give a similar experience, right? The customer balance report. I think that's all from my end. Thank you very much for watching me, and thank you all.
Thank you, Rakesh. It was quite a clear and deep dive of electronic reporting. It's lovely to have you here and how expert you are in electronic reporting.